Oh my.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy, brought to you by the Gonna Geek Network. Bringing you the latest nerdy news and geekdom, here are the hosts of the show. Anthony.
No pants, all bacon and dick butts.
Naki.
Don't be jealous that my robot penis is bigger than your robot penis.
Chris.
So when Chris doesn't know how to transition to a new topic because he's flustered, he just hits the button on the soundboard.
And sometimes some special guests.
This makes Burt Reynolds blush.
As Magneto once said, ha ha ha, welcome to die!
If you're a kid and listening, you rock and your parents are awful.
A brand new ATGN starts in 3, 2, 1.
That's right, we're back.
Yay!
Yeah.
There's actually more than 2 of you this week, too. Oh, no, SP came on later.
SP joined us last week. SP brought the black hole, if I remember how I entitled the episode.
Yes.
SP saved us.
I listened to it.
He brought the clams last
week. You actually listened to an episode.
Here's the thing, is that I'm trying to do my best into listening to our episodes. First off, because then it'll make me better. Because I apparently say and awesome and my words a lot, so I'm trying to fix that so I can be more professional in my everyday life.
Well, if I was a better editor, you would say a lot less.
I would say you're not saying you're meditating. Just say that.
There you go.
It's not it's
I meditate in the middle of my sentences a lot.
There. You're reaching in portions.
I did go back and listen to the one that I missed that was on Blab.
I'm sorry, I don't even remember what we did on that.
That was the Batman 5 Superman trailer.
Oh, yeah.
And we all just went...
With Goomba Doomsday.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's interesting listening to our older episodes too, and how much we've changed since episode I think I started at episode 5 just because I know the first 3 were god awful. So I think I started at episode 5, and I was still oh, this is so rough.
Well,
God.
bear in mind we were also on USB headsets all the time. Then, if we were lucky, there was at least one episode I did in the first 5. Where I set the wrong input, so what you were hearing is coming from my webcam mic, not from my headset. So there were a lot of tech issues to be had.
So that means, is it just still me and Michelle are the only ones who've listened to every episode?
Well, I've listened to all of them because I've been on all of them.
No, there's a few that you've missed.
Yeah, and then I went back and listened to those
twice.
Actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because then I had to edit them half the time I wasn't on there too.
See, I have not actually listened to every episode because I'm terrible, but I've been in the majority of them for almost 200 episodes. Guys, we're almost at 200 episodes.
And speaking of that, we're on episode 190, recorded live on December 20th, 2015. It is 2 days post Star Wars, and everyone appears to be alive. This week, we have the one, the only, Sir Anthony Bachman.
Yeah.
Bachman.
Bachman for the win.
Naki, who just got her hair did.
I did. I'm red, orange, and pink now.
See, I noticed things, mostly because she told us right in the pre-show. That's the only reason I did.
I noticed it because of the Facebook post.
That's also true. And the triumphant return of one Willie D. Nelson.
I also got my hair did, too.
Yeah, it looks great.
I'm kind of glad the camera doesn't work today, then. Because I assume he's talking about his chest hair.
It looks kind of like a butt plug.
Oh.
Would it help if I... It turned it upside down?
No.
No.
That depends. What do you mean by help?
Help in the way.
Make Naki keep thinking about butt plugs. I'm not sure if that's going to help, though.
It's the first thing it made me think of. I'm sorry. Willie, I'm sorry. It looks like a butt plug.
That says more about you than me.
I used to work in a sex store. I've talked about this extensively.
The impressive thing is that he waxed the chest hair, so now it looks like a Super Star Destroyer. That's the impressive thing.
That's how he got hyped up for Star Wars. And I will say, out of the host today, Willie's the only one that hasn't seen it, but he's going today. So
no, tomorrow.
Or tomorrow, excuse me.
Tomorrow, noonish.
Noonish. So you've only got to avoid the internet for about 12 more hours, and you'll be okay.
Can you
I'm already spoiled.
Oh, are you?
No!
Oh, were you? Somebody spoiled it?
Yeah, someone said blah.
No spoilers, no spoilers,
I'm
no
kidding.
spoilers.
I haven't seen any spoilers. I'm just kidding.
Way to
Yeah,
go, Chris.
I literally walked into the theater yesterday, and people were walking out like in costume. As I walked by them, I'm all la 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 la. So I don't want to hear a fucking word you're saying, people.
That's how we walked into the 10 o'clock on Thursday, because there was people walking out from the 7 o'clock, and we're just like, la 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 la.
Yes, I avoided Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for 3 days prior. I'm not going to get spoiled by some jackass walking out of the theater going, "Can you believe?"
Exactly. No,
I will punch a motherfucking nerd.
I came close to accidentally spoiling myself because on Thursday at work, I was like, "Oh, the movie's coming out today. Let me go on Google Play and see if the soundtrack's available yet." So
Oh, no.
up until that point, these track titles had been redacted on the soundtrack when you went to Amazon. So I pulled it up and I said, "Opening fanfare." Oh shit! Don't read this, and like dropped my phone on the desk.
No!
It was bad.
What
It was
have
bad.
I done to myself?
I almost
you
spoiled
did.
myself, and I'd have felt bad.
It would have sucked. You read a track listing that said so and so is Red Skull.
Yeah, that's what they did for Captain America, and they got us. It was well done.
It
Well,
was a good one.
There were
Nah.
people who were like trying to like ask questions and stuff like that. I'm like, and so my sister and I we just kept saying things like Smeagol took the ring to Mordor and Dumbledore was there to stop him and Snape kills Dumbledore. Like we just we're just like making up random shit of all other nerd culture because it's just like, you know what, go into it blind. You're gonna enjoy it better.
So I did
And then
see a
Harry
few
Potter
videos.
flew the Millennium Falcon into the sun.
I did see a few videos on YouTube of assholes that went into the theaters and spoiled it, and then literally got their asses beat by people. And at one point, the cops were one of them. The police report files like, "We did nothing."
Is this
Oh,
on
that's
YouTube?
funny.
There was a couple of different ones I've seen on YouTube, and then I'm not sure if the police report one was real or not because it's on the internet. You're not sure, but basically, in essence, they'd said, "Yeah, this problem took care of itself. We saw no need to intervene."
You know, I kind of hope if somebody went back into a theater and like out loud yelled the spoiler at the start of a movie, I hope they got the shit stomped out of them. I hope 42 angry nerds just tore them apart.
Look,
Like
I know I'd have gotten mad if someone walked in and said, "The ghost of Darth Vader comes in and kills everyone and ruined the whole movie." Oh, shit. Sorry.
See, now you're doing fake spoilers that are close enough they could almost be spoilers. You're fucking
What?
with people, Chris.
Wait, was that a
that's-
spoiler?
That's
No,
what
it was
I
I'm
did
saying it was
know
close
yet.
enough.
I did that to my mom because my mom, when Lord of the Rings came out, my mom would not stop asking questions. So I just started saying random shit that possibly could have been true. Like, she kept asking me, she's like, "Is Frodo gonna live?" I'm like, "No, Frodo dies. Shelob kills him."
Well, eventually they all die.
And then, like, I would do things like that because the books have been out for like 100 years. So whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and-
almost as
yes.
bad. It's almost as bad.
Spoilers for Lord of the Rings is bullshit. When the books are out that long, yeah, there's no spoilers on book movies.
It's almost as bad as when the last Harry Potter book or the second last Harry Potter book came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, running around going,
Yep.
Snape kills Dumbledore. Snape kills Dumbledore." That was bull.
Now I did
You-
hear a good story on another Doug Loves Movies podcast where you guys know who Sam Levine is?
Oh yeah, the little
Yep.
Wolverine.
Yep, aka Little Wolverine. But he had a good story about when he went to go see The Sixth Sense. He went to go use the bathroom before the movie, and somebody came
Yep.
in beside him. It was like, "Man, I can't believe Bruce Willis was a ghost the whole time."
Oh no.
He turned around and said, "Dude,
Really?
Really?"
Oh no.
Yeah, I remember him telling that story. That's so fucked up.
Yeah, something actually happened to me with the same movie back when I was a little kid. I think I was 13 when that movie came out. And I went to go see it with my aunt and a couple of our coworkers, and my brain was just like in the middle of the movie, like figuring like something's going on here. Like this before, twists were a thing to M. Night Shyamalan. And I was like, something's off here. My brain's clicking, click, click, click. And then the guy beside me, who's one of her friends, goes, "Oh wait, is Bruce Willis a ghost?" And then my brain goes click, click. Oh, you son of a! I was this close to figuring it out.
So, fun fact: when I went to see that movie in the theater, I didn't realize it was towards the end of the movie, and I really had to pee. So I went pee, came back, and the lights were up, and I was like, "Shit!" and because there was a line, and it took like 5,000 hours is what it felt like to go pee. So I didn't actually know what happened until somebody was talking about it outside of the theater, and I was like, oh, okay. That was how I found out. I'm back.
Nice. So,
And one more little caveat. I watched you guys last week. I was part of the peanut gallery. You guys got some things wrong, and my intent was to go back, figure out, write down what was wrong, and come back at you, but laziness prevailed, and I forgot.
yeah.
I was going to say, but you forgot, didn't you?
That's generally how it works when people want to prove us wrong, is they get real fired up about it, and then they just get lazy and don't prove us wrong, because I'm sure we're wrong.
We're wrong
sometimes.
a lot.
Not
We're
often.
wrong a
I mean,
lot.
I'm right on like 99.9% of the time because I'm just
You're-
awesome. But
You're just saying that because you're the producer and you can edit yourself to sound right.
Naki, when's the last time you knew me to heavily edit anything?
That's also true. All right.
Yeah, he's on too many podcasts to do too much editing.
I do the pre-production work to make the bumps sound fancy. That's my plan anymore. And then I lightly edit the podcasts because here's how I justify it. It's a live experience, and if I edit it too much, it takes away from that experience when the listeners hear it later.
Yes, and
Yeah.
not laziness at all.
No, it's
What-
not
what he
laziness at
said.
all.
See, when
Not at all.
the few times that I did edit the podcast, I took like 4 or 5 hours to do it because I would edit out all the ums and the hms and this was like way back when it was just Chris Adahay and I, and we all went and huh and a lot. So like it took me like 3 to 4 hours to edit this thing, and Chris is like, "Why does it take you so long?"
Well, to be fair, I have a little notepad I keep right here that I do edit points as we're doing, and there's a stopwatch on the other screen. So I do a lot of that to be able to edit on the fly, and editing for me takes about 45 minutes to an hour just because I don't cut out a bunch. It's mostly just the stuff I catch while we're doing it, or crackly things, or peaks and valleys that need leveled out, random stuff like that.
Yeah,
'Cause, yeah.
4 hours is way too much. My rule of thumb for Next Element when I was doing it was just edit about the amount of time it took to record should be about the amount of time it takes to edit it.
It varies. It honestly depends on if you're doing multi-track, that's harder. If you've got to deal with all that,
Well, yeah.
level things out and account for drift. It just depends on the use case, how long it takes to edit. There's no such thing as too much time, but on a personal level there might be. But when it comes to putting the cast out, not necessarily. That's more
Yeah.
what it comes down to. It's a philosophical debate, and I'm sure the chat room can chime in on that one.
There is definitely such thing as not enough time editing, though. I'll give you that. We've all heard those podcasts.
That's called the first 35 episodes of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast.
Probably longer than 35.
First
I'd say.
100.
I'd say at least the first 15 of Next Element, but we only did like 45 of that one, so.
It might come back one day.
I'm glad you guys
Hopefully.
got all the kinks out by the time I got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
There's
can.
no kinks at all when one person's camera isn't working.
And last week, only 2 people were on, and then we brought in a guest host.
Actually, well, he's coming through as Jessica, and his camera's turned, or as what was the girlfriend's name?
No, it's coming in as him now.
Oh, did he
Totally
switch?
Yeah.
It was
that's
Brittany.
why he's the butt plug.
Okay, now it says Willie.
Why do we
Okay, but
always
yeah,
go
his
back to the
camera's
butt
turned
plug
off. We don't know how kinky Willie is right now. He could straight be up naked on a bear rug with the girlfriend draped across him. We don't know. We can't see.
He
No.
he is actually Burt Reynolds.
I was about to say I'm Burt Reynolds draped across that bear rug. Just
And she's
Covered.
draped across him because she can't not touch the Burt Reynolds.
oh, she's tiny. She can't fill all of me.
All right.
So, you know how that line goes in the intro that when Chris feels awkward, he just hits the button to transition into something else? Yeah, I think it's
That's
time
the
for that.
time.
Not
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet.
Oh,
The news of the week.
It's been a while since I made someone do a spit take.
Yeah,
that
so-
almost got me, Willie. That was almost hot coffee on the Chromebook.
not,
Yeah, it's just a Chromebook.
not
You'll be
enough
okay.
Yeah.
not enough woman to fill the willy.
I tried transitioning out of that, guys, with a bump. It just didn't work so great.
Well,
Nope.
now you've got a show title. Not enough
Exactly. I was
women.
just gonna say. Now we have a title for the episode.
I was going to call it Naki's Internet as like the Phantom Menace, but
That boyfriend did say that in the chat room prior to the show beginning.
that ties into the whole Star Wars thing for SEO. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your internet is a trade embargo embargo negotiation? What?
My internet is bad and nobody likes it.
Yeah.
I
thought
like
my sex
part
life
of the
was like a
fan-
trade embargo.
I like part of it.
I don't even know
pod
where it goes.
race? The
So,
pod
news
races
of the
are
week.
kind of cool.
I'll take the first story here. Is that, we know there's.
Man, he's really trying to be a
He's
producer
pushing.
here.
I am
He's
trying.
not letting-
Go for it,
This
Chris.
train will get back on the rails.
No matter what it costs.
We'll fix it in
Okay.
post.
Okay. No, we won't.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. We'll
I
do
got
it live.
goes- I'm going to see Star Wars again at 3:30. I don't have time to fix it in post. No, I kid. But seriously, my news of the week. We know there's a bunch of folks coming back for Legends tomorrow, or that are guest appearing in Legends tomorrow. We know Damien Dark will be appearing. We know that obviously Vandal Savage will be in there. News came out this week that Matt Nable will be reprising his role as Ra's al Ghul in Legends of Tomorrow for the 13-episode run. Now, they didn't say how many episodes, anything like that. But since it's a show about time travel, and he was alive for hundreds of years, it just makes sense he come back.
Meh.
I like it. I like
Because I
Matt
think we're
Nable.
going to see any time where Roz and Vandal Savage met throughout the centuries.
That would be pretty cool.
I
But yeah.
haven't caught up on Arrow and Flash since the crossover.
There's only been one episode of each after the crossover.
Oh, that's right, because now we're on hiatus.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yes,
you're
it was
really
just
not
the
that far
mid-season
behind.
finale.
Naki.
Well, that's good.
Yes, Steven, we had the mid-season
Season
finale. I see him still in the chat room, so we'll wait about 35 seconds for it to catch up, and you'll see his response to me saying mid-season finale.
And I'm trying to remember, because after mid-season finale of The Flash, we're only missing 2 speedsters at this point now, right? We need Impulse and Max Mercury, and they've introduced the entire Speed family.
Almost.
They're not all running around with superpowers yet, but we have all the named characters that are in the Speed family in the comics. We're just missing just those 2.
That's true. I don't know. We'll
Like,
figure it out going
That's
forward.
insane that they've introduced that many characters on a year and a half of that show.
Well, that's part of what's hurting that show a little bit right now is they've got too many characters, I think. But that's for a separate podcast. And if you want to hear more about The Flash, go check out the Crimson Comet over at GonnaGeekNetwork.com. Plug,
there
plug,
you go,
plug.
Plugzilla.
I like that one, Plugzilla. I've been called worse.
But Plugzilla?
No, yeah, actually, yesterday
Ah.
I'm in a Facebook closed group talking about Star Wars stuff, and someone referred to me as Sheldon Cooper, and I was like, "Really? That's the best insult you've got is to call me Sheldon Cooper?"
That is kind of painful, though. I mean,
Nah, I've been called
What?
worse.
joke.
He's intelligent and socially awkward. That's the worst they got. Whoop-de-doo.
Oh no, that show's just awful.
Well, that's
It's
another-
better
that's a
being
separate
called whoever
conversation.
the fake astronaut on the show is that wears skinny jeans.
All of them?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think they all do.
They all wear skinny jeans.
Yeah, but the one looks like he's painted into him. He's just ridiculous.
I don't know. Anyways,
Naki,
oh, that's
what-
Howard Wolowitz.
That's it.
Yeah.
Naki, what'd you have for your
He's
news
awful.
this week?
My news of the week, I do not ever hide my love for Steven Universe. I love Steven Universe. I love it so much. And we haven't had any episodes in a long time because Cartoon Network does this thing where they're like, hey, you like this show? We're never going to show it.
Never, ever, ever.
And Steven Universe is one that I have not been quiet about. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And we finally are getting new episodes. Yay! Steven Universe returns in January. They're doing 5 episodes all in 1 week. Each episode's only 11 minutes long, so, I mean, honestly, that's not a whole lot of content we're getting. But we are getting 5 episodes. They did list the names of the episodes and a little bit of the description. I don't want to spoil it for anybody in case you haven't caught up at this point, even though it's been a long time. From what it looks like, we're going really heavy into Garnet this Steven bomb. This is all based around Steven's birthday, because if you remember back in the first, what they call the first season, but it's really just like a block of like 13 episodes but it's not really 13. Anyways, so they haven't really broken it down into seasons, but I guess at the end of the first season, when you find out about Garnet, they said they were going to tell Steven on his birthday. So now we're at Steven's birthday. So I'm not going to spoil it for anybody if you haven't watched it yet. I don't want to spoil that big thing about Garnet, because what I found out before because I saw an episode and I was like, I don't understand anything that's going on. Blah! And then I watched the episode. So, yeah,
So
Steve,
I don't watch the show yet. I'm sorry.
you
It's on
should.
my list.
It's actually like it's on Hulu, and to me, it's kind of like the Sailor Moon for a modern generation type thing. Not that that's a selling point for you, because I'm sure you didn't watch Sailor Moon.
Yeah, that's not making me want to watch it.
Here's the
Yay!
the thing that like got. There's a lot of like kids that I know that I watch that watch it, and it's about three gems who are it's an alien race fighting off their own race to get away from the Earth so that they don't take over the Earth. Is basically what the entire premise of the show is, but it's got like feels. There's so many feels to the show. I always like it's just really good. So I highly recommend checking it out. But that is my news of the week. I'm really excited that Steven Universe is coming back January. I believe it's January 4th. Let me double check.
In fact, Naki is so excited.
Yeah,
She's
January
pleased
4th.
to announce she's doing a Steven Universe podcast on the Gonna Geek Network.
I've actually debated doing this, getting our former podcast host King Ryan, because I know he's obsessed with it too. Boyfriend really likes it. I've got a couple other friends who are really, really into Steven Universe, and I just want to sit there and talk about Steven Universe. So
I will say I do know a few people that sit on the podcast approval committee for new additions to the network. So just saying.
Name dropper.
I didn't drop any names on purpose.
he's
The
just it.
Steven Potiverse.
No, we would be Steven and the Stevens.
There you go. So Draftsman's in the chat room. He's been having
Steven
some
and the Stevens.
some
Nice.
PC issues, but he did join us. He says Steven Universe feels like a 70s Japanese anime. It happens on the beach.
It does happen on the beach.
And
Mr. President did finally respond.
I know I had that. I was going to transition us
okay.
into that. I don't know.
He dropped a paragraph on us.
I know. We all know that Steven hates the term mid-season finale. He really hates mid-season finales. So he said in our chat room, he goes, it's the last episode before a break. It's not a finale. In fact, when you consider that a season finale comes at the end of the season, the term mid-season finale should mean the finale of the mid-season. But it's not. It's actually the first half of the series. So it should be the first half of the season finale. So the term is not only dumb, but inaccurate. Actually, it's generally about the first third.
Yeah, it's not even the first half.
Depending on the show, yeah.
So, Steven, I'm really sorry you don't like the term mid-season finale. Please don't look at the episode titles of ATGN for the past few weeks then. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's been in there a bit.
Yeah. Just to poke a little bit.
Ouch.
Poke.
It is the correct. Draftsman said that it was the 70s anime. It is, but with better animation. So
80s.
I could see that. 80s.
yes.
The upgrade of the 80s.
I mean, there is Sailor Moon references in this show too, which makes me laugh. But it's
I guess I should
it's-
say I did used to watch Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon is great. You should love Sailor Moon.
I wouldn't say great.
Be Tuxedo Mask, Willie. Be Tuxedo Mask.
I'm too much Willie to be a tuxedo mask.
Well, I mean, you don't really have to do anything. You just have to show up and be like, Sailor Moon, you can do it, and then disappear. That's basically what Tuxedo Mask does. And then she falls in love with him,
All right.
Sounds like simple cosplay.
right? All you have to do is wear a tuxedo with a top hat and a red cape and these, like, funky glasses. Easy
I thought it was a
cosplay.
domino. Oh, that was glasses.
Yeah.
Ooh, a Cumberbatch. Awesome.
So, I don't see in the show notes. Did you guys, anyone else have any news stories they wanted to cover this week?
Yes,
Go ahead.
I'm holding mine over from last week because I wanted Naki to be here for it.
That's right. I remember now.
Yeah, I heard that, and I was like, God damn it, I was trying to get away from it.
No, this one's awesome. Carrie, because I agree with Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher says discontinuing Slave Leia merchandise is stupid. The article is from The Escapist. The big thing, the hubbub started with J. Scott Campbell, who's an artist working on Marvel properties right now, was doing a lot of guest covers, lots of different fill-in artwork. I don't think he's doing anything where he's doing a current title, but he's doing a lot of variant covers and stuff. And he had put out that, from what he was informed, apparently because he was working on a cover, and J. Scott Campbell usually does like cheesecake,
can't
girly
stand
art. They
his
said,
art. I like him. I can't stand his art.
no, he's one of those artists who like either you like his style or you don't. He did his big book for Image was Danger Girl for people that would not recognize the name.
Holy
But,
boobs.
Oh yeah, all boobs and ass, lots of thongs.
Woo.
But yeah, he was told Disney. He let out that Disney's discontinuing the production and sale of Star Wars merchandise of the Princess Leia wearing the Slave Leia outfit from Return of the Jedi. Campbell wrote that Disney was well on its way to wiping out the slave outfit from any future products. Period. You will not see any future merchandising featuring the slave outfit ever again. Trust me. And basically, I'm assuming that he was basically shot down for doing a variant cover that I would assume he was drawing Slave Leia on.
Because his
So in a
boobs would
recent-
be like this big, and the thing would be like that big.
Oh yeah, if Campbell drew it, yeah, it'd be tits, ass, and a tiny waist. But it would
And
also
this
look
much
really,
actually
really cool.
covered.
I
And
kind
it
of
would
want to
actually,
call.
but it would look really, really cool.
I kind of want to call this episode "Tits, Ass, and a Tiny Waist." Now
That's a good title.
we're not going to
Tits,
do it.
ass,
but
and a tiny waist. There's my new bump.
look,
Tits, ass, and a tiny waist.
I'm just thinking about the hits. That's the only reason I mentioned that, because you know that our hits on YouTube would spike by like 1,000% for a week.
That would be some clicks. That's some serious clickbait right
It's
there.
clickbait, not for real though.
But the analytics would be someone just clicking, saying, "Oh, never mind."
Sons
That's
of
fine.
bitches.
There's your tits.
But Carrie Fisher weighed in the controversy in a recent article or interview with the Wall Street Journal, and she said, "I think it's stupid." When asked to elaborate, Fisher said, "The father who flipped out about it," and from what I understand, this basically all started because a guy on a local news channel fucking lost his shit because he found a toy of the Slave Leia toy in the toy aisle and said, "What do I tell my daughter about this?" And it instantly made me think of the Louis C.K. thing. Don't fucking be mad at everybody else because you don't want to have a conversation with your stupid child. Like, the fact that someone's offended by a toy, then don't fucking buy it. It's not for you. Everything is not for everybody. But she said, "What am I going to tell my kid about why she's in this outfit? Tell them a giant slub captured me, forced me to wear it, or forced me to wear that stupid outfit, and then I killed him because I didn't like it, and then I took it off backstage." Like, it's part of the storyline. She didn't choose to dress up like that, and then she killed the motherfucker that made her wear it. Princess Leia is awesome, and I've never seen any problem with that costume, other than the fact, okay, every single hot chick that wants to go to a con wants to do it in that costume because apparently it's like the easiest one to do.
No,
And
it's
there's
not.
millions
Yeah,
It's
I
of them.
don't see it
it's-
being easy.
It's not easy at all. It's actually really, really difficult to make.
Well, I'd say it's the easiest one to choose if you want to show a whole bunch of skin at a con.
Okay, I don't have a problem with what she said. I don't have a problem with why that's there. My problem with Slave Leia is how it's been taken since then. Because it's no longer taken as the woman was forced into a costume, she didn't like it, so she killed him and went on. It has now become the male-dominant fantasy. That's what bothers me. It doesn't bother me that, that's the storyline or anything like that. Like, I actually really enjoy that she got revenge for being humiliated. Like, that doesn't bother me, but that's not what the costume is used for anymore. Let's be real. So, like, that's why it doesn't bother me that they're trying to get rid of it, because if it was still meant for that purpose, that would be great. But everybody sees it as the sexy thing to do, as the male. It is a male dominant thing because she is literally a slave. It's in the word. It's in the title of the costume, a slave. So yeah, I'm fine with it disappearing, because if it still stayed in its context, it wouldn't bother me, but that's not the context anymore. It's not what it's made for anymore. It's made as a sexual power fantasy. So that's why I don't care for the costume. It's why yeah, it's funny when dudes dress up and you see the big hairy dudes and whatever. But
Hey.
if you really, I'm sorry.
Willie, next Halloween, you're Slave Willie.
But if you really think about it, you don't see that costume in its context. You see that costume as ooh, that chick looks really good in that. But so to me, it doesn't bother me that the costume's going away, because it's not in its context anymore. It's just made as a sex suit.
So,
I can see that. I guess it just bothers me because Disney is deciding to get rid of one piece of a giant universe of franchising because basically a couple people complained, and the fan base is misinterpreting it. Is what you're saying?
It is a giant. I don't know how to say this correctly because, like I said in the pre-show, I'm extremely tired. But the way that it's portrayed nowadays, the way that you see it, it was even on fucking The Big Bang Theory, okay? And we already talked about how much I hate that show. But it is no longer portrayed as a powerful costume for a woman. It's portrayed as, look at me, look at me, look at me. Here's my tits, here's my ass. But it's not a powerful costume anymore. It's not that big moment where when you first see that scene and you're like, fuck yeah, go Leia. That's not how you feel anymore when you see that costume, is it? Be real. Be completely truthful. When you see that costume, do you see a powerful scene or do you see a sexy lady?
I see a
Sexy
costume
lady.
from Star Wars mostly, in all honesty. I don't think of it as, oh, that chick's hot. I say, hey, that's Slave Leia from Star Wars. That's awesome.
I mean, then you're one in a few, Chris. I mean,
Okay.
like, like that it's no longer portrayed as a powerful moment for women. Like you have to admit, there is not a whole lot of people portrayed as I'm sorry. There's not a whole lot of women portrayed very powerfully in a sci-fi fantasy universe. Princess Leia is one that we did get, and you know, to take that super powerful moment and completely sexualize it is why and yes, I understand that people are going to miss it, and that's fine, but if things kept to its content and kept to it a powerful moment and not a sexy costume, it would be a different story to me.
Fair enough.
I'm just waiting for the special edition where they edit a costume on place of Carrie Fisher for the movies now.
Oh, that'll make me so unbelievably angry.
I don't think
I
they'd
was
ever
not
do
being
that.
serious about that. That was
I don't think they'd ever
sarcasm.
do that.
If Lucas was still in charge, that probably would be a possibility.
Nah.
He'd edit in a one-piece bathing suit.
I don't know. The one who told him, hey, they don't wear bras in space. You ain't wearing one either. I don't see
that
him covering
that was
anything up.
George Lucas in the late 70s, who was probably a little high, a little drunk, and having fun making a fantastic movie. Not the weird old guy that is now, just spending money.
Actually, I'll say something blasphemous. A New Hope is not as good as many people portray it to be. It's a good movie, but it's not like the end-all, be-all. The best Star Wars movie is still Empire.
Still?
Actually, having rewatched all three this weekend, it is amazing to see the jump between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. How much they advanced in his film technique, how much more of a story you get.
Well,
I forgot how A New Hope is really short.
Also, bear in mind that George Lucas didn't direct
Yeah,
Empire.
he only
Irvin
directed the
Kershner
first one.
did. Yeah, and then Larry Kasdan was helping him write Empire and Jedi, which is part of the reason why Larry Kasdan came back for The Force Awakens. That's part of the reason it's so good, is Larry Kasdan knows how to write those characters. He's especially good at writing roles for Harrison Ford because he's done them in Indiana Jones also. Larry Kasdan is incredibly talented, and the thing that's going to hurt is he is not doing Episode 8. He's only doing the Han Solo spin-off movie, and then he's done, he said. That bums me out.
Did you see that John Boyega is just walking around to every press thing he does, and he's like, Harrison Ford's my best friend?
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you do the same?
Yeah, I pretty much would, but yeah,
following John Boyega's Instagram as he's been doing the world press tour has been fucking amazing. That kid is having so much fun. It's almost ridiculous. Him and was it Daisy Ridley? However you say your last name? But yeah, those two just on their worldwide tour of all the premieres, it's just been insane watching their Instagrams. And just they have fucking shit-eating grins plastered on their faces, and they're just enjoying the moment. It is so very cool to see, because they both have to be exhausted. They're doing, 20 press things a day everywhere they go, and you just can't get the grins off their faces.
And they start filming Episode 8 soon. There's also that to keep in mind. So, I think the thing that John Boyega said that's my favorite in any of these press junkets was the worst, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have the exact quote, is the worst thing they ever could have done is cast a fan of the movie as being in the movie. Because he was a Star Wars fan growing up. So,
well, let's be honest. If you're casting a Star Wars movie, are you really going to be able to find enough actors to fill the movie that aren't fans of Star Wars? There aren't that many non-Star Wars fans in the world to fill a Star Wars cast.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. Tasha brings up a good point in the chat room too. Boyega has been shutting down racist assholes too. He's done a really good job of that.
He has, indeed, yeah. If you're not following him on Instagram, and I'm not sure about if he's on Twitter or not, but yeah, his Instagram has been great.
So a quick friendly reminder to the listener out there, we will not spoil Star Wars this week. We'll continue our tradition of waiting a week to go talk spoilers on a movie. So next episode, we'll probably spoil the everling crap out of Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Fuck yeah.
This week you're safe. You just get our initial impressions that I'm trying very hard not to accidentally spoil, because as much as I didn't want to get spoiled, I don't want to accidentally spoil someone else.
Indeed, yeah. Spoiler free this week. As much as I really, really want to say something.
Say
No.
it. Say it.
No.
I will not say it.
No. As I said,
There is plenty we can say, though.
I did say on my Facebook post right after we saw it is that I will not say anything except for incoherent noises and beeping. So there you go.
Yeah.
BB Naki.
BB Naki. That's me.
BB-8's pretty damn cool. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Beep 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 beep.
I will say Poe Dameron is a badass.
Beep 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 beep.
The CGI effects are amazing.
Beep 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 beep.
The cinematography is beautiful.
Beep 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 beep.
The John Williams score, like, gave me chills throughout the whole film.
God damn it, Anthony! I can't keep going.
I beat her. And the fucking and the guys from the raid. I love the sequence they were in. Little fucking mercenary badasses. Those dudes were fucking cool. You had all the badass martial artists from Jakarta.
So I am not going to spoil, but as something to keep an eye open for, Willie, is Daniel Craig has a cameo in this movie. See if you can figure out where James Bond is in this movie. Once you get to watch it, of course.
Is he gonna be an alien?
I can't tell you. I'm not going to spoil anything other than the fact that the rumor that he had a cameo is in fact true.
He's Kylo Ren. You heard it here, guys. Spoiled.
He's in it. Simon Pegg's in it. Kevin Smith's in it. Like, there's lots of motherfuckers in it.
I didn't catch Kevin Smith or Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg is an alien, so you wouldn't be able to see him. He was in one of the big suits. I don't know who Kevin Smith was, but I know that he's in the credits. Scott Mosier caught an image of it on the credit scene.
See, that's cool.
I think actually Kevin Smith was just a voice. It was additional voices, and then on like the bottom right name was Kevin Smith.
I like.
Yeah, I'm excited to go back and see it in 2D because I paid extra because the only seats I could get at the time were 3D. I hate seeing 3D movies. I hate having to put in a pair of contacts and wear the glasses the whole time. The 3D is brilliantly done. Okay. There's a scene with the spaceship coming at you where for the first time since like I was a kid in the 80s where I actually went, whoa! And like my head went back because the 3D really actually put the image in your lap.
See,
it was fucking well done 3D.
You were the only person I've heard that said they really liked the 3D for Star Wars The Force Awakens. Everyone else was like, it was okay. We didn't really need it.
There's a whole lot of fast sequences where anytime something's moving fast, the 3D effect doesn't work. I'm not saying nothing actually, but there's just, when things are moving fast or quick cuts for editing, it makes it to where 3D doesn't work, and so when stuff's moving fast or people are running, it makes it difficult for your eyes to actually convert the 3D image. But yeah, other than that, there's some beautiful shots. I had the 3D glasses on the entire time, the whole thing's in 3D, and it doesn't feel like a bad up conversion. Like it feels like JJ did the 3D very well. So yeah, if you end up having to see it in a 3D showing because that's the only thing you can get into, don't worry, it's not bad. I enjoyed it. I was actually really psyched.
3D just makes me go, huh?
Yeah.
I walked out of there with a huge headache, and I was still happy because it looked good enough that it was worth the headache and a pair of contacts. Like it was damn good.
I want to go see it in IMAX still. That's my dream, but I have to go and drive about 90 miles up the road to be able to do that, so it's not happening soon.
Boyfriend's gonna do that.
Yeah, I could only. My ticket for tomorrow is for 3D. I didn't really want 3D, but I did want to see it with the D box. So, and the only way to do that is with the 3D.
There you
go.
No
choice then. It'll be all right, I think. I don't know. I have a personal philosophy. I don't go and watch movies in 3D unless they were filmed with 3D cameras.
And how many of those are there?
Like 3. One of which is Avatar, which started this whole craze. Because honestly, I believe that 3D is just mainly a cash grab at this point. It's an excuse for them to put a little bit of extra work in there and then charge an extra $3 to $4 a ticket.
Yep.
but I'm a cynical bastard.
But yeah, I will say, Willie, I don't think you'll be disappointed. The 3D in this is good enough to where it's worth wearing the glasses for the whole movie.
Now,
It made it fun.
Just to say it, 3D was ruined for me since Captain America: The Winter Soldier. When I saw it in 3D, all the action scenes were all fuzzy, like it had a motion blur that was crazy. I'm not sure if just the projector was just out of focus a little bit. I'm not sure, but everything else looked fine until they started moving fast. It's like, ugh.
It could have been, yeah, because it has to be set up correctly and focused in really nice for 3D to work the way they are now with the dark gray glasses. If their setup's not spot on, it can make it really hard to watch.
Yeah, I think that's entirely possible. So we'll start wrapping this up. Willie, did you have a news story you wanted this week? I forgot to ask.
Just a little tiny one, that little gaming news. I don't know if you heard about Kojima and Konami whole ordeal.
I did.
He's finally released from the company, and he apparently signed on with Sony.
But he is not allowed to. They've legally barred him from talking about anything.
Yep. Oh well, I mean, it's just gonna make Konami look like the bad guys. I mean,
They already
we
do.
know.
They already do.
Kojima could have been the dick in the whole situation. We don't know. Like, the way they just silenced everything just makes them look the bad guy no matter what the real story is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm really curious to see what kind of games he's going to start making for Sony now, whether they're Metal Gear inspired or he goes and just does something completely different and new now.
Is it because he's been doing what, Metal Gear for 35 years or something now, right?
Forever, it feels like. I mean, they're
He's
good
probably
games.
sick of it.
No, I think it's only been like 30 because it came out with I know the original NES one. I think it came out 89, 88.
That could be. I don't honestly remember, to be fair. I'm not a huge Metal Gear fan. I enjoy them when I play them from time to time, but some of the more recent ones to me feel almost like a movie that you occasionally get to play. And that's kind of why I'd steered clear.
That's how I felt when I played the first Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. It's not an inaccurate description, I don't think. But let's move on now. We're going to start something new here. Is Anthony, he's our resident comic expert here on All Things Good and Nerdy. He reads a lot more comics than I do, because I only read a few, and most of them are Star Wars based right now. So what we're going to do now is every couple of weeks when he goes and picks up his back catalog, we're going to give Anthony a chance to walk us through some of the stuff he's got, some of the stuff that's really cool, and give us his opinions on it. And I'm not sure why Naki just covered her head.
I'm gonna go take. I'm not taking a nap. I'm really tired.
Naki's going to take a nap during the comic chat.
Yeah, so without any further ado,
reading comics again.
Since we have no actual name for it right now, we're going to call it Bachman's Comic Chat. Let's move on into that.
With the porn music. All right.
Porn music's a good go-to, I figured.
Hell yeah, it always works. It gets everybody's attention, too. Porn music, comics. We got Uncanny Inhumans, number 3. Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. Beautiful artwork. The throwdown between the Inhumans, Black Bolt, Medusa, and their kid, Uhura. Fucking fantastic issue. Reader's great. Seeing Johnny Storm fighting with the Inhumans is cool. And just, yeah, Steve McNiven's artwork, no matter what book he's on, you can literally just get it and not read the story and just look at the artwork, and it's worth it because the guy's artwork is beautiful. Web Warriors, Protectors of the Spider-Verse, issue 2. Nice throwdown between the new villain team of the Electros. One Electro figured out that there was a way to go across the web, the way the spiders did when they found the Spider-Verse, and now there's a team of different Electros that are all teaming together to hunt and kill Spider-Man and just try to take over the galaxy. And it's awesome because they're all Max Dillon or versions of Max Dillon, and a lot of them are idiots. So it leads to some good comedy stuff. And of course, this is the book that has Spider-Ham in it. How can you not like a book with Spider-Ham?
You might be kosher.
I'm just a little curious. Is
Maybe.
there a Jamie Foxx Electro in there?
I'm not sure. I know there was a blue one, but I'm not sure if I've actually seen one that's directly based on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 yet. If not, I bet there will be, because they've showed a bunch of them. But it's the same thing with the Spider-Verse, where you have every alternate version of Spider-Man you can think of. The Jamie Foxx Electro's in there somewhere. And then Silk got her new series. I was a little behind, so I got issues 1 and 2 of Silk. They ended up having a different artist between the first and second issue already, which is never a good sign. But the storyline is really cool. Cindy Moon is the girl who got bit the same day that Peter Parker did, but was put in basically a time capsule. She hid away in a bunker for 15 years to stop the inheritors from finding the spiders. Of course, and then Peter released her, which caused the whole Spider-Verse thing to happen. Really cool storyline. She's actually functioning as an undercover supervillain right now, working for Black Cat, trying to find out information on her family and taking down the gang of Goblin Knights that are working for the Goblin King. Another fun book. I'm not sure why there was already a different artist by issue 2. Just that's never a good sign. But the storyline's been fun so far, and it's Cindy Moon's a cool character. Spider-Man 2099. We're dealing with the fact that they found out that the secretary for one of the people working at the Parker Industries that Miguel O'Hara runs is actually the female Captain America from 2099, and nobody knows how or why she's there. And in this book, you actually get to see that Captain America kind of take over, and she hulks out again and starts smacking people around, and all the while dealing with a hunter that's come from 2099 because he found Miguel's door, because Miguel keeps checking the future to try to see if he's fixed it, because Nueva York of 2099 has been destroyed, and Miguel has a door in Parker Industries where he can go in forward in time for 10 minutes and check on the future, and he keeps trying to, fix things with Alchemex to make it to where the future is back, but they don't know at this point what destroyed the future. But yeah, Johnny came through the door the other direction and just started smacking people around. So that was a good fun issue. Radioactive Spider-Gwen. It's Spider-Gwen. What more do you need to know? This book is fantastic.
That's about right. I'm a fan of Spider-Gwen. I need to start reading the new stuff now.
Yeah, the new one, yeah. The new, and I love that her adjective is radioactive. It's just, it works perfect. Her and the Mary Janes. This actually brings back, you get Harry Osborn in this issue, and you find out where he's been and what he's up to in that world. Jason Latour's take on the Spider-Universe character, and I can't remember his first name, but Rodriguez's artwork. Like, the whole book is just violent neon awesomeness. Like, it's a fucking great book, and it's really, really damn pretty. They started a new Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Grace storyline 1.1 with the Sanitarians. New religious take on a funky story. Pretty cool. I like the artwork. It's fun. Another good offshoot Spider-Man book. Basically just everything in the Spider-Verse, like the Spider family of titles. They've turned the Spider books over at Marvel into what Batman used to be with the Bat family. And it's fucking great. And mainly because The Amazing Spider-Man, still written by Dan Slott. Common Coley is doing the artwork. I think it's Giuseppe. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. All the Parker Industries stuff where you're seeing Peter Parker running a multinational conglomerate now that's, doing charity work with the Uncle Ben Foundation. Running around with S.H.I.E.L.D. fighting against Scorpio and the whole astrological sign gang. Just a beautiful book, and yeah, if it's Dan Slott writing Spider-Man, I will keep buying this book forever. Dan Slott is the best Spider-Man writer, period. Like, he has taken the title. No one has ever written Peter Parker as well as Dan Slott. We have all the new books starting, and that's all the brand new Marvel Universe, and still they haven't fucking finished Secret Wars. We're on number 8 of what should have been 8. They pushed it out to now it's number 8 of 9.
And 9 is in January.
Yeah, so all those books are in the new universe, and we still don't know how the last universe actually ended. But Esad Ribick's artwork is utterly fantastic. Hickman's story is great, and in this issue you get the giant thing that's the shield wall versus Galactus in a slugfest, and armies of the dead, Thanos versus Doom, just all sorts of just fucking goodness. I'm excited to see how it's finally going to end, but yeah, the timing that they did on this is just shitty. And of course, part of that also, Battle World Ultimate End issue 5. It's finally the last issue from the Ultimate Universe, which 8 issues into Secret Wars. This should have been done 6 months ago. They're fucking slow, but it was a good issue, and the way they did kind of the Bendis Talking Heads grid, where you're used to Bendis where they just do pages just filled with talking head squares. The way Bagley draws this one and the way Bendis wrote it's really cool. They kind of get like disappearing heads as the fight's going along, and so just less and less people are in the grid. It's kind of a cool take on a Bendis staple of storytelling. But it was a good wrap up for how they ended it. Star Wars Kanan. This is the only Star Wars title I'm picking up, but I love it. This is the story of Caleb Dune, who becomes Kanan Jarrus on Star Wars Rebels. The artwork's fantastic, the storyline's great, and this is his first mission with his master after he becomes a Padawan. Fucking fantastic book. Birthright by Williamson and Bresson from Image. Probably the coolest fantasy story, where it's the idea of, the chosen one wasn't quite what he was meant to be. And then this guy, the kid basically disappears when he's 10, comes back as a 35-year-old sorcerer Conan badass running across Earth killing wizards now. It's a fucking weird and fantastic book. And the funniest thing every month now is I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young. There's no person alive that shouldn't be getting this book if you're over the age of 8. Every single person should be buying this book every month. It is utterly fantastic, and there's a girl that vomits attack rainbows in this issue. It's amazing. The Walking Dead is up to... What, Chris?
I said interesting there. Vomiting rainbows.
Yeah, there's a little girl, I think her name is actually Happy, and she's from Joyland, Wisconsin, and her attack is just she vomits a rainbow. It's amazing.
Isn't there a Snapchat filter for that or something like that, where you vomit
There
rainbows?
might be, yeah, and that might be where they got the idea. But yeah, it's awesome. The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman just keeps kicking ass. We get a little more of Lucille comes back in this issue, and some Negan action, which is kind of good now that they're putting him up on the show. So we're actually going to get Negan on the television show. But yeah, it's 149 issues in. The comic is about 3 or 4 years ahead of where the TV show is at this point. And yeah, it's Kirkman. It's The Walking Dead. What the fuck more do you need to know? It just keeps going. It's the never-ending zombie story, and it's great. And yeah, poor Rick Grimes has a lot of shit to deal with. And then the best book of the month, the superhero universe so well constructed it doesn't need a reboot, ? Invincible, reboot, volume 3 or issue 3 of 3. You get the finale to the reboot story, and basically, try not to spoil it because it just came out and it's damn good. Basically, Kirkman gives the character the option of wanting to reboot his comic book or not in the storyline. Because that's how good of a fucking writer Robert Kirkman is. He takes the cliche thing of reboots and basically gives it to the character as an option. It's fucking amazing, and of course, it's Ryan Ottley. 126 issues in. Ottley's only not drawn 3 or 4 where they brought back the original co-creator Cory Walker. And so the bad news at the end of this issue is that they put in there that they're taking a break until April. But it's because Ryan Ottley needs to recharge the batteries, and the guy's been a fucking workhorse. He's basically drawn 100 and... he came on in issue 8. So he's basically done almost 118 issues interrupted of a comic book. Of one comic book. There's almost nobody in the industry that's ever done that other than Mark Bagley. Charlie Adlard on Walking Dead, Ryan Ottley on fucking Invincible, and Mark Bagley did it on Ultimate Spider-Man. There are few and far between the guys who can say they set and drew 100 issues of a comic in a row. If Ottley needs a break, I'm fine with that. I'll wait 4 months for the next issue to come out because it'll be fucking worth it. Ryan Ottley's artwork is fantastic, and he's grown by leaps and bounds since the early issues of Invincible. His artwork is amazing. It's worth buying the large, oversized library editions of Invincible. That's the collected ones I get because they blow the artwork up. And that has been Bachman's Comic Chat.
That's a crap ton of comics, man.
Yeah, I had a lot to pick up because last payday was the Christmas sale. And yeah, I know I talked about them. I'm not sure if I showed them both. But I added to my villain collection. Ooh. So I have Thanos, my first oversized pop figure. Because at the Christmas sale, everything was 20% off. And then I finally broke down and I bought one hero figure because all I was buying was villains from movies. But there was one I just had to get, and I got me a BB-8. And it's the cutest fucking thing ever.
He could be a villain. We don't know yet. For all we know, BB-8's going to be the Sith Lord that pulls the strings for everything.
Well, you said a hero, so does he destroy something?
Maybe.
Is he more vulgar than R2-D2?
I know everything he says is bleeped.
I was going to say something else, but I realized it might have been a spoiler, so I had to refrain.
No! Rated it! It's so hard. It's so hard because next week
So
We'll spoil the fuck out of some Star Wars.
You know, if we did out of context right there, I could just take you being "it's so hard," and just make that a straight up out of
That's
context quote of its own.
And add the
That's
porno
true.
background music.
Yeah, and then I would be like, "Oh yeah,
So hard.
yeah," just like that.
Is that your
Nice.
sexy dance?
No, I don't have a sexy dance.
They're all sexy dances.
I just exude sexiness. That's what it is.
I just do the Thriller.
Hey girl, want to come home with me?
Don't worry right
This
now.
is great for the audio listeners right now as they see nobody flailing around on screen.
That's right.
Don't worry, it's awesome. I'm doing the worm right now.
Nice.
That's because you're
On
naked
top
on
of the
mirror.
girlfriend.
Hold on a second, backflip.
I think I heard him stick the landing.
Get back.
Stick
I heard him crack a rib.
Oh, my back.
Welcome to being 30.
My tibula.
My tibula.
My tibia.
My squeedlies.
So we should probably start wrapping up the show. We're about 55 minutes in, so we'll probably wrap in the next 10 minutes or so. But we'll do what we traditionally do to wrap things up. It's a little bit we call What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with our listener what all we've been getting into, what we're planning on getting into. Basically, we share the geeky stuff we like in an attempt to convert you to our cause. So, Anthony, what have you been getting into? What are you planning on getting into?
I'm getting into watching Star Wars on Friday, and I'm going to go watch it again and help make sure they make that $220 million barrier so my bid is correct. I don't think they're going to have much trouble because apparently it was $120 million on Friday alone, so I think they're good.
Yeah, I think they're
And
set
y'all
when it
made
comes
fun
to
of
money.
me for 400 billion. Y'all made
Yeah,
fun of me.
I still
400
think you
billion, huh?
400 million.
$400 billion.
Billion dollars.
Yeah, I think Naki still might have overbid, but I'll be damned. I wouldn't be surprised now at this point if they break $300 million for the weekend.
I wouldn't be
It's
shocked either.
insane. Yeah,
If I can find it, I'll find the document that has all of the bids for the Gonna Geek Network, and we'll see who all
nice.
screwed.
Yeah, we need to check all those after next week once we have final tallies for this weekend. But yeah, went and saw that Friday. It was fun. Took the day off and then did some shopping afterwards. Got all my Christmas shopping done. All my presents are wrapped. I have nothing to do this week. I already put stuff in the stockings. Like, I'm cheating. I'm just way ahead of schedule. I'm good. And it's nice to not have to stress and not have to do any shopping this week. Though sadly, I did go to Walmart last night to pick up the last thing for my grandpa. And going to Walmart the Saturday before Christmas, like, I knew I was in for it, and oh god, it was bad. The sheer waves of humanity just crashing through that parking lot and store were awful. But it's done. It's over. I bought Ant-Man. Got to watch that. I babysit my two best friends. They both have sons. I had an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old, and we all watched Ant-Man on Wednesday and had pizza. So that was a fun night. Being uncle is fun because then I just,
When they're
let
crabby
them
or
stay up
poopy.
late, let them crash out, and the parents get to deal with them crabby the next day. So much more fun than being a parent.
Yeah.
Other than that, let's see, level 23, I think, on Battlefront, and level 13 on Borderlands. And that's
Impressive.
about all I've been doing.
Borderlands.
So, real
Are
quick,
you doing the first one? Are you?
No,
just
Borderlands 2, because I got the Handsome Jack collection, so I'm going through 2, and then I'll play the pre-sequel.
So before I transition on to the next person, I was able to find the spreadsheet for all of the bets. There were 2 people that were eliminated by Friday when it came to their bets. One, our Twitter verified friend over at Unqualified Gamers, Cody Goff, had 75 mil he predicted for the opening weekend, so he is very wrong. And
Was that a joke bid?
I don't know. And our very own Nightwing, aka Wing from over at Legends, had said 115 million, so by Friday he was out of the running.
Wing, you silly bastard.
So right now, the 2 high bids remaining are Lauren and Haley from Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Lauren had 275 mil, and Haley had 300 mil. Everyone else is in the low to mid 200s.
Are the ones that we had said did not like
The
a
ones
couple
from
weeks
May
ago?
are what got applied to this.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
ones from May. So
Yes.
I had like 221 or something like that. I think.
What you had was 200 million. I had 190 million, so I will be wrong.
I will
Anthony
be
had
wrong.
237 million back in May.
Yes,
I think
I
all
would.
of us are going to be wrong. I think it's going
Yeah.
to be either Lauren or Haley is going to win with the 275 or 300 million.
Yep.
But
They just might.
that's just my thoughts. So I'll go real quick what I've been getting into because it's not a ton of stuff, but I've been playing Rise of the Tomb Raider on my Xbox One because it's really fun and I like it. I went to go see Star Wars on Thursday night. I'll be going again today with a former guest host on the show, Ferg. My Mass Effect Loot Crate box arrived yesterday. There's some pretty good swag in it. I got some shot glasses, a new N7 hoodie, and a variety of other cool stuff. I did not get one of these super special edition Loot Crate boxes, which kind of bummed me out. It made me sad. I had a moment of sadness. And then I guess the last thing I've been getting into is a good friend, Stargate Pioneer, knew I'd been looking to get some more gear, and he found a good deal on a mixer. So I have upgraded my podcasting rig. Everything is now hooked into a Mackie 802 VLX 8, I think is what it is. I can't remember. But basically I have an 8-channel mixer sitting here now, so that's how I've been doing the sound effect bumps and things like that for the show. I'll put it on camera real quick because my cable management needs a lot of work right now. That's what I'll be working on after the show, is getting my cables done right. I just wanted it to work properly. So real quick, a big thank you to Stargate Pioneer for helping me get all that set up and dealing with my why the hell isn't this working on Tuesday night when we were going to record something. So thank you, SP, for the sanity check and for helping me spend money on a mixer.
Yay.
It's like the Christmas song. Now why the hell are they blinking?
Yeah. Well, no, here's the thing. Nothing was blinking except the rude solo button when I first started up. I'm like, what the hell's a rude solo? What the shit is this? And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, why is the light not on my mic right now? And they're like, it only turns on if you're plugged in via USB. I'm like, oh, god damn it. I'm so angry, I don't know what's going on.
Lots of new buttons and lights to learn. Yeehaw.
Buttons.
So that's been really fun. As we do more on the show, I'll figure out better ways to fold it in. What I am going to do differently this week for you guys that are audio listeners or video listeners, you might go back and listen later. I'm recording everything right now on a digital recorder coming out of my auxiliary out channel. So I'm going to edit that wave file for the podcast and see if it gives us a better, higher quality file coming in the end. So my guess is it should. And worst comes to worst, if that doesn't work, I'll rip the audio from the YouTube video again.
Yay.
But that's what I've been getting into. Let me kick it to you. One Willie D. Nelson, what have you been getting into, sir?
Is that me?
That's you, sir.
Is it my turn?
Plug.
That's you.
Butt plug again.
There's some context there you might want to explore when you sigh and go, butt plug again.
No, just butt plug.
Willie D. Butt Plug.
Bearskin. Anyway. One of the first things I kickstarted finally came in. Do you guys know what a Google Cardboard is?
I do. I've been tempted to get one.
Well, they forget the name of the company, but I received it's called I Am Cardboard. It's pretty much you just put your phone in it straps it on in, and then you have a virtual reality screen right at your fingertips through your phone.
That's kind of cool.
It works amazing.
Are you showing it to us right now?
Yes, I am.
The camera doesn't work.
Wait, so it's a cardboard helmet for your phone?
Well, I think originally Google came out. I think they had like a cardboard cutout thing where it just had the lenses in it, but this is all made of plastic. They continue with the name cardboard.
Okay.
Because that's what Google is apparently continuing on with, and it pretty much makes everything like 3D. You can look all around you. One of the coolest thing I've had where they had it's called catatonic. And you're in you're strapped down to a wheelchair, and you're going through a psychiatric ward. It's all live action, live actors and everything. You're looking all around you. You can look behind you and see the guy pushing you. It is creepy as hell.
That does not sound like fun.
No, it really.
If you like horror movies, it's awesome.
I love horror movies, but I want to be able to kill a motherfucker. I don't want something where I'm strapped to a gurney.
A wheelchair. Come on now.
Whatever.
You were mentioning Google Cardboard. It's pretty cool. At one point, Google was giving them away, and you could buy the make-your-own kits online. And then I think one of the coolest ones I saw, not exactly cool, was porn sites were giving them away for free, so you could experience virtual reality porn with them.
Oh, nice!
That's what I need to look up. Let me write this down.
Yeah, that's time for...
And then other than that, VR is awesome. I do have to say, I did get another nerd block in, and here, let me show you what I had. It was quite not just Star Wars centric. It just had a lot of like. Let's see. I got a Star Wars Ice Cube with all the dark side helmets. Like they have a Vader helmet, a Stormtrooper helmet, Boba Fett helmet to make little ice cubes out of.
Nice.
Just a little generic little pew pew laser blaster keychain. A cool little Star Trek movie era Captain Rank pin. Looks pretty nice. A Star Wars mouse pad. I got the indoor one. It says visit the forest moon of Endor. The lush arbor splendor. And then a Kylo Ren T-shirt that looks pretty nice. I wish I could show you. It's
You
kind
can
of
wear that when you go tomorrow.
No, you don't do that. It's like wearing the band you're going to go see's T-shirt.
Fuck yeah! I wore the shirt of the band I went to see on Friday. Goddamn right I did. I wore a Star Wars shirt.
I did too.
And they also had a Funko Pop in this one of I got Luke Skywalker with lightsaber.
Nice.
Which Luke? Like black
Tatooine.
outfit, Return of the Jedi?
Tatooine.
Oh, like white robes?
Yep. Has a little nice little
Cool.
bobblehead. Here, can you see him?
No, because you
No.
don't have a fucking working camera.
We just see your butt plug.
We just see your butt plug
Oh,
icon.
boy.
You're welcome. Does it look a little dirty?
It does. It looks a little scratched up, actually.
You got a groove in it too. I mean, at least
Rib
it's well
for
used.
his pleasure.
Well,
It could be
you-
her pleasure too. Butt plugs are
Willie D butt plug.
unisex.
Butt plugs can go into either gender.
Yeah.
Don't judge
That's
me.
true.
Everybody can get a little use out of a butt plug.
Naki, what have you been getting into?
I think we just found out.
Yeah, butt plugs.
I didn't say that. I just insinuated by transitioning into her with that conversation.
Heavily insinuated.
I might have actually seen Star Wars on Thursday. People at work figured out I was a nerd because first off, well, they as if they didn't know this already, but I wore I was wearing a Star Wars shirt all day. Like it was kind of a hidden Star Wars shirt though, because I had it underneath my cardigan, but you could still see Chewbacca's face poking out. I also, on one hand, I did my nails in the light blue Jedi color, and on the other hand, I did the red Sith color.
Fancy.
So like, people started noticing, like, why are you, nerd? And then, so I saw that on Thursday night. Friday I had the day off, so I went and got my hair did. And then, yesterday, boyfriend and I were very smart, and we went to Target the Saturday before, because I want a sweater because I have to work on Christmas Eve, so I was like, I'm going to get one of those trashy looking sweaters, and I'm going to wear gingerbread leggings, and I'm going to be festive. And
You forgot to
and-
say "damn it" at the end. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be festive. Damn it.
Yeah, damn it. Anyways.
Damn it.
So instead of walking out with a sweater, he walked out with a Wii U, and which is basically the same thing.
Yeah,
That's
they're
like
very
not
similar.
even close.
So then I got him a additional surprise Christmas present, and I bought him Mario Maker. So we spent the rest of the night doing that. This morning, however, I woke up, and my dad said that my aunt and uncle left us a package. I haven't seen them in a few years. They've been overseas. And they sent us two things. Well, they sent a bunch of stuff, but two things from my childhood that made me go almost like cry. I was so happy. I haven't had this stuff in years. Is diruzhi, also known as fairy bread. You can have it in chocolate shavings or orange or chocolate sprinkles. I think I did that backwards. Oh no, I did that right.
Yeah.
This is breakfast. You put it on buttered bread. It's delicious. It is the best. I haven't had this stuff since I moved. I haven't had this stuff since I moved here. And then the other thing they sent me is stroopwafels, which is a caramel
German for butt plug.
I knew that one.
I'm Dutch. Dutch Indonesian, but it's a waffle cookie filled with bourbon, vanilla, and cinnamon.
Oh.
If you put it on top of your like coffee mug or hot chocolate mug, I used to have it with hot chocolate. You sit it on top. It warms it up, all gooey. I just eat them as they are, though they're delicious. So I got really, really, really excited and nostalgic, and I was eating them during the pre-show. I didn't eat them during the show because it probably wouldn't look very professional or anything.
Well, plus you've got a Yeti, so you could just crinkle something and we'd hear you do it.
Yeah, you hear me. That's why I went muted while Anthony was talking, because I was typing in the chat room and I was trying not to be rude. Other than that, let's see. We were playing Disney Infinity last night, and I was Stitch, so I got to climb up walls and glitch out of everything. I realized again that I get incredibly nauseous and blurs like a lot when there's a lot of blur and like fast pace. So I was like, huh! Like through half the game. Because holy shit, that can get motion blur on it. I've determined that I'm going to finish Tales of the Borderlands and Undertale because I've got 3.5 days off this week. So that's going to happen. I need to finish those 2 games really badly. And then I'm going to go steal Boyfriend's Wii U and go make terrible, terrible Mario Maker levels, because that's what you do with Mario Maker, is you lose all your friendships. If you haven't watched anything with Mario Maker, go watch the Game Grumps run. It's hilarious. They do Ross O'Donovan's Pro Gerard, Ross again, a couple of errands, and then they do a whole bunch of fan-made levels. My dream is to make one as good as the Companion Shell. So check it out. Those are a lot of fun. And then in the pre-show I introduced Anthony to Ninja Sex Party, and now I want to F your A. FYI, I want to F your A stuck in my head. So
nice.
Interesting.
That's what I got.
Well,
I don't think I missed anything.
I was talking to Keith in the chat room. He's like, she didn't stop me from buying the Wii U.
I didn't.
He's like, I told her to tell me no. She said, well, you're an adult, and I just replied, well, adulting is hard.
Well, I said, my exact quote was, I threw my arms up in the air, and I said, I have no control over your credit card bill.
Naki, was there a part of you that went, if he buys this, it means I get to play it too?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I admire the fact that you responded in the way you did. Well done.
And adulting is easier with the Wii U.
Yeah, evidently adulting is easier with a Wii U. We'll ask Keith about that next time he's around.
We were torn for the game that I was going to buy him for Christmas. Was either going to be Mario Maker or Yoshi's Woolly World, because I was actually playing Yoshi's Woolly World in Target. The game's really fun. It's like Yoshi's Island, only made with like Kirby's Epic Yarn standards. Oh my god, it was so cute and it's so fun. There's no way you can't feel happy while playing it. But I didn't buy it for him because Mario Maker was one that you'll get longer playtime out of, and he's wanted that one forever. So
as we wrap things up, Boogity Boo was kind enough in the chat room to post a link from Box Office Mojo that says Star Wars is now past $500 million globally.
Oh, but Jesus.
Holy
Nice.
crap. That's all I can really say on that is, holy crap.
The only article I read there said it did 120 domestic on Friday alone.
That's
So, yeah.
insanity.
500 million globally, I don't doubt that at all for the weekend.
No, I don't either.
It's going to crush every record.
I think you're 100% right. But we'll start wrapping things up. As we do that, I did want to remind everyone who's listening live or listening at a later date, if you want any more information on the show, head on over to atgnpodcast.com. You can find the entire back catalog there, our live page, and a link that takes you to all of the show notes where you can go and find out more about any of the news stories we've talked about. If you want to leave us feedback, you can do that on Twitter at ATGN Podcast, or head on over to Facebook at facebook.com/allthingsgoodandnerdy. The best way, though, is to shoot us an email, atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, or give us a call on the hotline at 304-806-ATGN. I'm also told we stream live on Sundays. What do you guys know about that?
We do?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I think it might be more than a rumor.
It might be more than a rumor. It is, in fact, the truth. We stream live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern over at live.atgnpodcast.com, Channel 3 of Alpha Geek Radio, and over on the Gonna Geek Live page at geeks.live. I would remind everyone, too, the next live show for Gonna Geek might be the Gonna Geek podcast. I can't remember. But go over to geeks.live, check out the calendar. It'll show you the calendar of all the live shows we have going on there. But,
will we be back next week, or are we skipping for Christmas?
I don't know. Impromptu show meeting. What do you guys want to do?
I'll be here.
I'll be available, so.
I should be around.
I don't think I have anything planned.
So it looks like we'll be here, and we'll talk Star Wars next week.
Yay!
Yay, meeting over.
Everybody wins. Show meeting over.
Quick and easy.
So as we wrap up, you guys have any last thoughts for us as we close out the show?
Butt plugs.
Butt plugs.
Thank you, J.J. Abrams.
So
And
I
butt
guess that
plugs.
means we're going to start getting out of here on the notes of thank you, J.J. Abrams, and butt plugs, two things I never thought I'd put together.
Thank you, J.J. Abrams, for butt plugs.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't
I
forget,
just
we'll be
pulled it
back
out.
next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com. I should caveat the music and most of the podcasts you hear on the Gonna Geek Network can be found at incompetech.com because we all use it. So thank you, Kevin. This is the post-show stuff now. We can do whatever we want.
Yay!
We're still on the
Okay, I have
air.
to stop doing that. My head hurts.
We're still live.
Oh, we're still live in case anyone in the chat room wanted to toss anything our way before we get out of here.
Then FYI, I wanna F your AOMG. Just
Apparently, I have some videos to go watch now.
LOL at my C.
Drops.
And FYI, I wanna F your A. It's stuck in my head.
Anyone who's hanging out in the chat room still, thank you so much for tuning in live this week. Unless you guys, we'll stay on the air for a couple more minutes in case you had anything you want to bring up. Otherwise, we're getting the hell out of here because I got to get ready for Star Wars again later this afternoon.
I'm gonna keep singing it.
So,
I gotta go
Willie,
look at Fandango.
I gotta say, I got comments from a few people. You sound fucking awesome on that rig right now.
Well, that's just me in general.
That's true.
Wow! Slow down, Ego.
The sweet soothing sound of the Willie D. Nelson. The butt
You can
plug.
hear the fur through the microphone.
Did that setup work all right for you with the mic stand and stuff?
Oh, although I gotta say I'm Bob Barkering it right now by holding it,
Nice.
just because I'm not on camera, so screw it. If I feel like an awesome game show host.
Tell him what he won, Bob.
A new car.
Da-da-da-da.
Oh shit, our budget's gone up.
Da-da-da-da. Yeah, who's paying for this new car? Because it sure as shit ain't me.
The president, Stephen John Drew. That's on his tab.
Mr. President's gonna
shit,
pay for the new car.
Yeah, charge that shit to the John Drew.
We got a company card, right?
Yep,
Something like that.
yep. FYI, I wanna F your A.
I need to go hear that song apparently.
Just stuff your
So
mouth with
I recorded all of that.
mine.
Well, chat room guys, we're gonna get out of here. So we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.